Hi everyone, I have kind of a quick fix today for you, kind of a prevention is better than cure scenario, and that is how to get a nice smooth zipper installation on your bags. You can use these techniques for a zipper that is on the top, you can use it for a zipper that is on the front, and you can use it for different ways of installing your zipper. Some may not be applicable to all types of zipper installation, whether you're doing a turned end, 2 tabs, or the butler method. But these are all tips that will help you get a nice, smooth zipper installation on all of your pouches. So let's get going. For this tutorial, you will need your pouch pattern. I am using a simple box bottom pouch. You will need zipper tape. You will need your zipper. If you're doing the 2-tab install, you will need 2 tabs. If you're doing either a turned zipper at the end like this or the butler method, you'll just need 1 tab. You'll need double-sided tape, something to measure, your scissors, and a pen. The first thing that we need to do is get our zipper ready. So as you can see here, this zipper is a little creased, a little wrinkled. That can be a reason that you may have a wavy zipper. So before we even start doing any more sewing, we are going to press our zipper tape. I'm going to take this over to my iron, and with a bit of steam, I'm just going to press out all of those wrinkles and folds. And now you can see that the zipper is nice and smooth. So that is a much better starting point to have your zipper for installing it on your bag. I'm going to trade this out with a shorter length that I had cut earlier, just so that I'm not wasting any of my zipper tape. We are now going to put the pull on the tape. When I put on my zipper heads, I don't use any tools. I take a look at the end of my zipper by the yard and identify which side of zipper teeth is further out, and on this case it is on the left side. I'm going to open the zipper about 2 inches, grab my zipper pull, and I'm going to slide it on the left side first because that is the side that I identified the teeth were further out. Put the zipper head on until the teeth nearly come out of the top there, and then just pinch that between thumb and forefinger. Take the other side, slide it up the bottom there, and then using my thumb and finger here, I'm going to pull that left-sided teeth down until I feel them click, then push the back of the zipper head there and slide that pull on. Double check that that tooth is still the further one out, and then I know that my zipper head is on and the teeth are still even. You want to make sure that the teeth are even, as having skewed teeth will cause a curve in your zipper, and then that can be another reason why you may have a wavy installation when you put your zipper in. The next thing that we need to do is make sure that our zipper is the right length. A zipper that is too long for the pouch that you're working on is probably the #1 reason that you end up with waves in your zipper. In order to get your corners to turn out nicely and not have any waves in your zipper here, you need to make sure that you have enough space at either end of your bag, on either end of your zipper, to be able to turn out your corners and to install that zipper length. The measurement that I like to use is no less than 5/8 of an inch. If you have trouble poking at your corners or you have bulkier fabric like vinyl and waterproof canvas, you probably want to err on the side of caution and give yourself 3/4 of an inch. So when I'm measuring that, what I need to do is take my zipper tape and I want to measure it against my bag exterior and make sure that this is 1.5 inches narrower than the topmost part of my bag, which will give me 3/4 of an inch on either side. So this is, let's say, 9 inches. So I want my zipper tape to be 7.5 inches. I'm going to cut that down here. And then I'm going to go and sew the tabs on either end, making sure that my pull is attached there. So I have my tabs sewn on the end of this zipper tape, and this method of doing your zipper with a tab on either end is the easiest one to make sure that you've got it the right length. When you're doing one where your zipper is turned, what you want to do is turn the ends out first. You have your zipper a little longer to start off with. I like to start with the same width, plus maybe a little extra as my bag. Turn my ends out, and then what you want to do is measure from 3/4 of an inch in on this side and 3/4 of an inch on this side, and that is where you would cut that zipper tape. Then you would take your tab and sew that on, and then you would again have a zipper that is 1.5 inches total length shorter than the width of your bag. So there we have 3/4 of an inch at this end and 3/4 of an inch at that end. So we know we'll have enough room to turn out our pouch and still have a nice smooth zipper install. I'm going to set that aside for now, and we're going to continue on with this one. But you would install that the same way as we're doing with this. The only disclaimer being, if you're doing the butler method, you don't have to worry about measuring this. If you're doing the butler method or the adapted version that I have used in some of my other videos, you just sew the tab on, leave this unfolded. You would of course make sure your pull was on, then you start at one end and you turn it as you go. So you don't have to worry about having waves in your zipper, which is why I like to use that method. But some patterns call for this style and some patterns call for this style, and sometimes people just don't like to do it that other way. So I will show you how to get a smooth zipper with the other options. I'm now going to grab the other pieces of my pouch and my double-sided tape. And I'm going to be putting double-sided tape across the length of the top on all 4 pieces, my 2 exterior and 2 lining pieces. What we're now going to do is mark the centers on these pieces. You can mark it with a pen, or you can do a little snip in the center. I like to do a little snip. We're going to mark the center on both exterior and lining pieces and on either side of the zipper tape itself. What we're now going to do is center our zipper tape up on our bag. Not centering up the zipper tape can be another reason that you will get waves in your zipper. If you have too much length at one end or the other, then your zipper will not sit nice and smoothly. So we can take that double-sided tape off, putting the zipper right side down on top of the exterior piece where the center is marked. We're just going to press that on, and we're going to smooth it from the center outward. And using the double-sided tape, you get the zipper nice and smooth on top of your exterior. And because of the double-sided tape, it cannot shift. It can't shift away from the raw edge, and it can't shift side to side, and that will also help you get that nice smooth zipper installation. Grab your lining piece, and we're just going to sandwich that zipper there, lining up the raw edges and the center. And I like to work from the center outward to make sure that it's nice and smooth, and then check that there's no waves here and that zipper is nice and smooth. And you can see we have a good sized gap on either side of the tab, which now, since we put the tabs on, is just a little less than those 3/4 of an inch. What we now need to do is go and sew one side of this zipper. When I'm sewing my zipper, I like to use a seam allowance that is equal to the width of my narrow zipper foot. I highly recommend using a zipper foot when you are installing your zipper so that you can get nice and close to your zipper, and it will give you a nice consistent line if you use the edge of your zipper foot here as a guide lined up with the edge of your fabric, and that will also help you get a nice straight zipper installation. Back stitching at the beginning and just sewing all the way down here, a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch, which is the width of this narrow zipper foot. Another consideration when you are inserting your zipper is, where is your zipper head? My zipper head is right here, and if you can see here where the zipper head is pulling on that fabric, I have some more of the lining visible here. And if I were to continue sewing past that without moving that zipper head, I would get a wave where that zipper head was during the sewing installation of the zipper. So what I'm going to do is, with the needle down, I'm going to slide my zipper pull out of the way. If your zipper gets stuck there, you can raise your presser foot and turn it to slide it this way. It can be a little easier. If it slides out of the way easily, then no need to do that. Smooth that back down, line that back up, This part is already sewn, so that's not going to move and not be affected by the placement of the zipper head here at the back now. I'm going to continue along that edge. And now we have one side of our zipper sewn in nice and straight. Another thing that can help get a nice straight zipper installation is to press this fabric fold here before you top stitch. So I like to fold that out nice and taut and just press that down, either a finger press. If you have fabric that can be ironed on, you can iron that. Just press that down to get a nice crease there. You can also use double-sided tape on the back here if you want to really hold that down and out of the way. But before we top stitch this, we are going to repeat putting the exterior on the other side of the zipper. Lining up the centers again, press that down from the center outward and the center outward. And also check while you're doing that the bottom of your pouch is lined up. Then flip that around. When you're pressing this down too, if you're noticing a little bit of bumping where your zipper head is, you can slide that out of the way and smooth that out while you're sticking that down with the double-sided tape. Grab your other lining piece using your center markings again. Slide it from the center out to the sides. And then we will go and we will repeat sewing down that side of the zipper. Another thing that can lead to having a zipper that is wavy is not having a great enough seam allowance when you are sewing on your zipper. I wouldn't go any narrower than 1/4 of an inch, and you may even want to go closer to 3/8 of an inch. And then that can help you have a smoother top zipper or front zipper when you have finished your install. So again, sliding that zipper pull out of the way. You can see again where it's pulled away there, even though when we did the double-sided tape, we did push that right up to the edge. You just want to make sure, and you want to make sure that the actual zipper tape itself is going right up to the edge. So don't be afraid to peel off that double-sided tape if you need to just move it up there. And then keep going along that edge, using the edge of your presser foot here as a guide to get a nice straight stitch line. And then back stitching again at the end. And now we have both sides of the bag sewn onto that zipper tape. Press that down, and then we are going to go and top stitch. Before you top stitch, make sure that you are happy with how that zipper looks. You want to have as equal amount of space on either side of those zipper teeth as you can. Make sure that it is centered here so you won't have any problems when you have to push out your corners. And then you can fold it like this also to get an idea of how that zipper is going to look once your pouch is finished. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to head over and I'm just going to top stitch this pouch. I've switched back to my regular presser foot, and I'm going to be beginning my top stitching here in the side and then going along the edge here. If you've seen any of my other videos, you may know that I like to use this inside edge of my presser foot as a guide to help me get a nice straight stitch line. And then again, making sure that you move that zipper pull out of the way. And repeat on the other side. With that top stitching done on either side of the zipper, I'm just going to go ahead and finish sewing this pouch together, and then we'll come back over to recap all the things that we did to get a nice, straight, smooth zipper installation on this pouch. And there you can see the finished zipper there. So to recap, the things that we did to get a nice smooth zipper installation are, first of all, when you get your zipper off the roll, make sure that it doesn't have any waves or wrinkles in it. So you could iron that to get that nice and smooth. The zipper length is not too long for the width of the pouch, so you want it to be 1.5 inches narrower than your bag, and then you have space to put your tabs on the end and still turn out your corners. When you put your pull on, you want to make sure that the teeth are lined up so that you don't get any skewing in your zipper tape. You want to make sure the seam allowance that you're taking is not too narrow, as if you have too much of the tape exposed, it can cause it to have a little bit of a wave in it. You want to use your double-sided tape to keep your layers together so that you don't have shifting either side to side or of the layers pulling away from the edge of the zipper tape. You want to make sure when you are sewing the zipper on that you're moving the pull out of the way so that you don't get a bump as you go next to that zipper. And I also recommend using a zipper foot and using that zipper foot as a guide to make sure that you get a nice straight stitch line when you are inserting your zipper. Hope that helps. Thanks, everyone.